Okay, got some dry ice. 90-gram de-waxing column. Screen. This, I put this straight across the dishes for whatever reason. Put your clamp on there. And make sure you get this on exactly right before you start tightening it down. So do this other hand. Always look at it and make sure it sinks straight across. These legs are not cut even, so looks a little wumpy. Don't have to get it real tight. Snug her down. Flip her over. Using my screen. That's what I'm using. Plus I'm just using a brown coffee filter. Probably an overkill, but pack it down as long as it's down there. Use the whole filter. I'll be stopping and going this video a lot. And I'll put some paper towels. That way I won't keep getting stuff down anywhere. I did this one earlier and I forgot to put my filter in there. This is not good. I mean, it's 19%, 21% THC content. I use a machine called U.S.M.C. Anyway, try to make a little filter for it. Still not big enough. It's too small. Wish I had a bigger de-waxer column. That way I wouldn't have to worry about that small little diameter. But anyway, I'm gonna pause it. I'll stop every now and then. Back it down. Repeat the process. That's number 2. Okay, got her all packed in there. Clean the top off. You don't want any material down in that where the O-ring fits. Got the shower head. BVV. That's where I get my stuff. And I appreciate everybody's input. This one guy especially. Sorry I can't pronounce your name. It's D something, but can't pronounce your name. Not even gonna try. But if you go, I'll subscribe to him. I'll pull these out. Anyway, I'm gonna take this, put my vacuum pump on it, close this off, put vacuum on it, shut it off, and then we'll go blasting. That is a chore. Been dry. So if I had to do it over again, I would definitely get a bigger de-waxing column, but man, the price difference, my God. Anyway, got this packed off full. We'll wrap it up. Gotta have a freezer glove. Mess with dry, so you gotta have a freezer glove. We'll wrap this up. I'm gonna let it set for about 30, 40 minutes, an hour, whatever. Colder, the better. So I got some diamonds in there growing right now. Don't know how well it's going to do because I didn't use dry ice on that one. This one here, I'm going to dry ice this one. I'm going to do 2 of them. One of them I'm going to put in sub-zero. Let it freeze for a couple days. The other one I'm going to set out like I did one before and just set it on a heating pad. You got to evaporate it out. Everybody says, oh, let it be runny. I can't because these jars will blow. It's got to be down to a certain level. Because if I had that level in that jar right there, this lid would come off. It's got to be, 3.1 ounce. So it's going to be down about thickness of my finger. If you don't, that lid, it's going to crack, pop. Thankfully, I've never lost a jar, chipped a jar, because if you crack it, chip it, everything that's in there you got to throw away. Yes, it's dirty. But anyway, I'll let this set for about an hour or so. Come back and do some blasting. This one don't fall. Alright, so I'll let it sit for about an hour. I'm going to blast it. Shut my lights off in there. I don't trust it. And we'll let it sit just for a little bit. Someone on the internet suggested maybe I'll let it sit too long. So I'll let it sit for about 20-30 minutes. But I'll let it sit dry ice only. Okay. So I did the dry ice only. Now I'm putting gas in. I'm going to let it sit for about 5 minutes. Go smoke me a cigarette in my house. Might need another can. These are 2, almost half cans. This is really, really cold on my hand. Real cold. Should be wearing goggles because if this sucker spews out, hits you in the eyeballs, it's gonna burn. Alright, I'm gonna have to go get me another can. Because once it gets almost full, I mean, the can's down low, I don't think it has enough pressure really. See how it's filling up? I don't know if you can see that. Got a sight glass right here, lets me know how full it is. Lets you see on my pressure gauge. Now she's just filling up. Shake it up. Okay, sight glass is full. So we'll let it sit for 5 minutes. And we'll come back and blast it. Got my jar. I do this. This is dry ice. Water flow, ice will fall off in there. Once ice hits this, screws it all up. Let's sit for a little bit. Okay, it's been set for about 5 minutes. Blast it up in here. sit there and blast. They go real slow. And then I want to repeat this process until it runs clear. You see how it's yellow. That's why I use multiple jars. That way I can see when it runs yellow. The first signs of it running yellow, then I stop. Or clear. So they go real slow. Let it run for a little bit. Now I wish I could keep it that color, but these mason jars cannot handle the pressure, so I have to evaporate half of that off in order to keep it in a jar without it blowing the lid off. This is ice cold sub-zero extraction. Ghetto, yes. All right. Now, when you go transferring this is warm. That's frozen. So pour slowly. If not, it'll make a mess. That's why sometimes I'll pour it over this, down in case I drop some. Don't waste it. Because it will it'll flare up on you. The next batch, I'm not going to let it sit and wait. I'm just going to blast it through. Might let it wait for a little bit. Do not put the lid on it. You don't want to move this can. You don't want to wiggle it. It's the same sub-zero as frozen. So run about that much of the can through it. Check to see where we're sitting at. Make sure I got everything out of it. As you can see, it's still yellow. And I'll add that to the other jar. Eventually I'll get all this evaporated down so I can fit in my small jar. I'm thinking about letting everything sit in this jar here. This is the wide mouth. It's easier to get into. The reason I have a smaller jar, a smaller surface, I'm thinking if I get all my diamonds, means 3.1 ounces is not much. Repeat the process. Started this at 3:15. It's 5:15 right now. So I think this is easy. time consuming. Run some more through it. Okay, as you can see, it's a lighter color versus the other one. So she's pretty well done. But I'm gonna save all this because I'm gonna do something else. What I'm gonna do is after I get finished this, I'm gonna take this cap off. And I got some shatter that don't like texture or don't like taste or whatever. I'm gonna put some shatter in a 35 micron rosin bag. Fold it up, and I'm gonna put that on top, and I'm gonna blast it again. I'm gonna show you what happens if it works. What will happen is after I blast that rosin on top, I'm gonna let it sit in sub-zero for a while. Once I do that, it'll all dissolve into a crystalline form. But we'll see if that works. Okay. That's what I'm using. Smallest one I can get. Now, it's the bag right here. I'm gonna take this, roll this up. I'm gonna put this on top of my weed that I just blasted and see if I can change this into an isolate, Thc-A isolate. Or see if I can just reblast it and see if I can come up with something different flavor, different texture, whatever. But anyway. This is what I'm using. Stuff I just made. So you see. That's what I just made. Some diamonds didn't turn out, so that's what I made out of it. I'm going to take that and put this into my de-waxing column, let it freeze. Okay, take that shatter, wrap it up, put it down in here. Had it in the freezer, should have left it out. Warm it up a little bit. Right on top. Just like that. Put this thing back together. I'm gonna let it set for about probably 10 minutes after I fill up with gas. No vacuum, nothing. Now I went and got me another full can. Now remember, this is I already blasted this weed once or twice. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to change some of my shatter into Thc-A isolate. And I'm saving everything, because if it don't work, I'm going to save that. I'm going to re-blast. I'm going to re-vacuum that to make some more shatter out of it. We'll fill it up. Side glasses don't show full, probably because it's kind of warmed up a little bit. You pack it up with some dry ice on top a little bit more. We'll let it sit for a little bit. And I'm going to trap all this in case it don't work, then I'm not going to waste anything. But I've done this with my THC, my diamonds, my micro diamonds. It's all real fine. So what I did was, did the same thing, put it in a mesh bag, and then took it out. And it was like white crystalline powder. I mean, it's like beyond micro diamonds. It was like a dust. See, I already blasted all the weed. That's what's in this jar down here. So that was just, I used 3 pucks. So 3 grams each, 9 grams of some shatter that I just put in the top. What I'm going to try to do is I'm re-blasting it. But if it does what I think it'll do, it'll turn into a white Thc-A isolate. If not, there won't be nothing in the bag, and I'll be down in here. And I'll just vap that out. Brought my little pot over here, my vacuum pot. I'll dump it in there and make some shatter with it. Anyway, that's what I got so far. Okay, I checked it. Still had stuff in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this again. Except I'm going to let it sit for a little bit. Let it dissolve completely. Because shatter will dissolve in this, because it's gas. Now flipped it over. So I noticed that the first time I did it, that it was whatever side this hit, that side got stripped. Closed. Anyway, I'm going to try that. Now, if that don't work, what I'm going to do is, it's going to be hard. I should have put that shatter on the bottom. That way I don't have to fill my tube all the way up with gas. Because I don't think I'm getting my gas all the way up to the top. Because it's at the very top. So I need to take it down halfway and then put it in there. We'll see what happens.